Alrighty, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Hairymuppet. Welcome back. We are live, and I'm gonna take a drink. I need a drink. Yes, it always seems like as soon as I start streaming, I'm like, yeah, I need a drink. And I'm also coughing quite a bit, but I've been streaming 3 days in a row, so that would probably explain why I'm coughing so much. Need to give my vocal cords a bit of a break, but yeah, we're back to work tomorrow, so that should be fine. Now, last episode, we did a huge farming build. There are just over 600 farms here, actually. 624 by the looks of it. And they're all producing beans when they're working, which some of them are and some of them aren't. This one's running out of sand. Ah, it's just missing an inserter. Okay. But yeah, just over 600 farms, all producing beanafran, which gets converted to beans up here, which gets converted to vegetable oil, which all goes through this process and ends up as solid fuel. So this will produce an extra 720 megawatt gross and about 360, 380 megawatt net, because this all takes up a bunch of power. So we have got it hooked up with a little switch connection here. So again, this process is only going to turn on if our solar starts falling over, which is fine at the moment, but a couple of episodes ago, we actually saw our base start to completely fall over in terms of power. So going forward, it's going to be very, very nice to have this process. And we've got this huge bank of fuel oil over here as well, so that when we need the extra power, we can turn on these and we can just use up the bank and we don't need to turn the rest of it off, which means we get almost the entire 720 megawatts net power. Now, we got to start to get to the very tricky bit, which is this ore. So now the main tricky bit about this ore isn't the actual process itself, it's the train stations. So we have this very nice station which has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 individual train stations in it. Now, for normal places, that's more than enough, but for this particular one, not so much. So let's have a look at what we actually want to build. We'll have to get out a map view to do that, but let's have a look at what we actually want to build. So we'll start with silicon. All of these ones are pretty much the same in terms of complexity. So what we want to do is we want to have 2 input belts of rubite, 2 input belts of bobmonium, the basic ores all the way at the top. We crush them, and then we chunk them, and then we use this sorting recipe to get them in. So we need 4 belts for the rubite and the bobmonium inputs, 1 belt for the crystal catalyst. That will produce 4 belts of silicon ore, and then we have 2 belts of crushed stone coming out. That's 11. We've only got 11, and we've already used up all of them, and we haven't even looked at the chunking process. So the chunking process produces, well, the purified water we just make out of nothing, so that's fine. Now, it produces 50% chance for a cyan geode, and I haven't actually done the math here, but the cyan geode goes up to 1.5. So, alright, let's do the math. Okay, so for silicon, we need rubite and bobmonium. So this chunking is 1-to-1. So 2 full belts of rubite, 2 full belts of bombonium. Ah, crap. That's going to spit out sulfuric wastewater and nitric wastewater. Okay, so we definitely need another station. Another station block. I don't think we can do anything to squeeze it in. We just got too many. So, yeah. So that's going to be half a belt of cyan geodes, half a belt of red geodes. So that's going to be half a belt of cyan is going to be 0.75 of crystal dust. Half a belt of red is going to be a quarter of crystal dust. So that's 1 full belt of crystal dust. And then half a belt of cyan is half a belt of crushed stone. Half a belt of red is half a belt of crushed stone. So there's 1 extra belt of crushed stone. So we got 1 of crystal dust and 1 of crushed stone. So that's 2 extra stations we need. Nitric wastewater and sulfuric wastewater are 2 more. So I think what we're going to have to do is... Well, we're going to need a new... We don't want that anymore. I don't think we need that. We're going to need a new thing here. So I'm going to replace these T intersections up above with a station. That's really going to shut down our vertical space. Really going to, but... Here's the thing. We can't put another station next to it because... Actually, could we? I think actually we could. Maybe we could. Because... Here's the thing. I was thinking about putting a station down here and having the offshoot go off there. And I was like, oh, I can't do that because we need a certain amount of space in between. But then again, we're dealing with 1-1 trains, right? So a 1-1 train is like that and like that. So the potential for us deadlocking with 2 T intersections right next to each other is basically impossible. Alright, so I think... I was going to put an extra one up there. I think what we're going to do is we're just going to have these to be doubled up. Most stations not going to be doubled up. These ones, they are. So this is going to be straight rails. And I think we're just going to put it on the right to make it simple. We could put it on the left. I don't really want to put it on the left because there's multi-phase all here. We'll just put it on the right. That should be fine. Of course, if we put it on the right here, we're going to screw up that NGL, but whatever. Yeah, just putting it on the right seems to be a better option. And we still maintain as much vertical space as possible. Alright, so I have to do this. And this. And this. Alright, now if I put a T intersection. Okay, not complaining. If I put it down normally, it'll complain. So it's not going to complain if we do this. Alright. And we're going to put down more stations. Does actually fit. Doesn't... Oh, of course we designed the main block so it wouldn't do that, but yeah. Okay, there we go. So all we're really losing by doing that is space for solar. We're not in any danger of having trains deadlocking on this smaller gap because this smaller gap is still... Now the question is, did I drag the destruction blueprint far enough wide to get rid of all of the things. I think I did. I don't want to have like 2 different guys at the edge. It looks like I did. Okay, so that's beautiful. Now we've actually got a little bit of freedom. So let's start, and we're going to start with silicon. So we're going to put all the output stations, well, not all the outputs, but we're going to put the ore outputs over here. So we can do station load. Oh, we probably won't need those 2 over there. That's just too much. But here, we can put down silicon, 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 and silicon. And I'm going to have these guys, the unload stations, be over here. That gives us 3 for crushed stone, 1 for crystal, 2 fluid trains. Maybe I'll do it over here. Okay, so this is going to be the rubite. Or this is also going to be the rubite ore. I have to be a little bit careful with placing these because obviously as soon as I place them down and as soon as they're built by the robots, then trains are going to come over very, very quickly. So silicon, rubite, and bombonium. Beautiful. So let's just double check. 1, 2, 3 crushed stone, crystal, 1, 2 fluid, and 1 for good luck. And then we can do an unload station here for the crystal catalyst. All right. I like that. I like the way that's working. Means we can't copy and paste these precisely. But we can still copy this bit. I feel happy with copying this bit. I'm going to put that right in the middle here. Yeah, right in the middle here. There's a power pole in the middle, isn't there? That's all right. We'll rely on other power poles to go around the long way. Okay. Apparently I forgot a power pole. Alright. So what did we have? We had rubite on the right. And we have bombonium on the left. And we've got the inserters already set up using a blacklist, so we don't need to do anything else. So there we go. 2 belts of crushed stone. Which we're not going to hook up just yet. And I'm still not at the point where I want to switch everything over to be red belts. I could, if I really wanted to, I could, but I don't think I want to yet. It's just extra hassle, to be honest. Okay. I think that one goes there. Good thing about destroying the trees beforehand is you don't have to worry too much about pressing shift. You just place it and then they all just go through. All right, we even got power connected to these guys already, so that's beautiful. So there we go. That's 2 full belts of crushed for each of those. And we might as well just load the crushed stone. Should be on this tab somewhere. Yep. Load the crushed stone directly. I'm not too worried about keeping all of the crushed stone trains together on the line. All right, beautiful. So now we need to get to phase 2, which is going to be the new phase, which is going to be the chunking. So let's get some basic flotation cells up here. This is actually quite a big building, which I don't like, but... So it's red. And it is actually going to spit out quite a fair bit. So... Alright, so this is 0.75. That's slow. That's... And we're building this for red belts, because this is built 10 of these, so I can do 30. So this is built for red belts. So if we want to build this one for red belts, we're gonna need 40. Jesus. That's a lot. That is a lot. That's a lot. How much space is that going to take? 2, 3, 4, 5. And we need 40 per belt. Okay, that's 20. Okay, so we cannot fit 40. Okay. We could build these. These are 4/3. So what would that mean? It would probably mean we need 30. Where am I going over here? 30 we could fit. I was hoping not to have to go for these. I mean... Yeah, 1 per. So we could do that. We could just do flotation cells. And then we just need 30. And 30 can fit. So I think we'll just do that. I mean, we're going to need to build these ore sorting facility 3s. So we might as well. Alright. So we really don't have much room in here. So let's have a look at what I want to do. Okay. That's a bit too far. Sorry, my cough is really just screwing me over at the moment. All right. We're going to have to move this up a little bit, actually, because we're going to need to move this over like this, I think. To make room for it. Yeah, okay, that's beautiful. All right, so let's have a look. So we're going to have a belt going down. And we're going to need to do this. Which means that. And then shift long. And we're going to need to do this. Get this bloody tree out of the way, please. Okay. Horizontal. Alright. Then over here we have this guy and we double it and please get these trees out of the way. Then we have a simple power pole over here and haven't really left ourselves too much room, but and shift N, horizontal. I'm not actually sure if I want to move them downhill, but I have a feeling I do. Okay, so that's that's 4, 6, 8, 10, 20, 30. Okay, so that fits very nicely in there. Gonna have to deal with this. We actually got a fair amount to do in here, which is quite annoying, but I'm sure we could make it happen. Okay. And we're leaving a bit of room up here to get the output over the side. Alrighty. Okay. We just need another one of those. And it's very important that we get this design right the first time, because obviously we're going to be copying and pasting it a fair amount. Or maybe not a fair amount, but we're going to be copying and pasting it a bit. That's not right. That's better. Okay. All right, that's beautiful. So that is going to be one belt of geodes there, another belt of geodes there, and we're just going to have to sort them out over here somehow. Another bunch of crushing lanes, and then actually, no, I had it right the first time, didn't I? Because we're not actually sorting them yet. We're just chunking them. Alright, so single power pole up there. And now that we've done that, we can do this. Which is going to be rather small by comparison, but we'll put that right there. And you guys just go up like that. And where's our crystals? Crystals are right here. Right there. Copy all 4 of these all the way up. Let's just do it like that. Give them a little bit of an S. Give them a little bit more of an S so that they match up with the last one. And then... Okay, that's beautiful. Now these will obviously need to be replaced with the tier 3 ones. Doing silicon. And the crazy thing about using the tier 3 ones is they're faster, right? Yep, they're faster. They're definitely faster. So 2 per second in. Alright, so let me do the math here. This is taking 1 belt of 30. So we need 15. And we only got 10. Did I never increase these for red belts on the previous builds? Maybe I didn't. Yeah, these ones down here, I'm pretty sure are suitable for red belts. These ones aren't. These set up at the top. I think I did that on purpose because I was just running out of those guys. Well, we could fix them now. Or we could just ignore them. Yeah, to fix them, we'd have to fix this belt malarkey as well. So, yeah. But we are going to fix these ones right now because I feel like we should do that. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we need a total of 15. Okay. Did I press the wrong button? Cut. I want to cut. I'm going to put that in my inventory. So technically we need 7.5. But we don't have 7.5. So we're just going to do 8 instead. Which means some of these are going to be wasted, but it is what it is. Okay, so that's all the main stuff. We've also got crushed stone that we need to deal with. Let's get the water sorted out. Let's do it up the top, because that's nice and easy. Alright, so we have 120 times 25. 120 times 25. That's... Was that 4,000? Actually, my brain is a bit funky. 3,000. Okay, 3,000 is close enough. Let's do 3,000 water. Yeah, plenty of room up here, so we might as well use it. $3,000, so that's 2. Not sure how much room we're going to have. So let's do that. So that is 600. Let's actually get them properly kitted out. Gonna just give a pump to each one. Just to make it simpler. It doesn't mean we need to check more pumps to make sure they're all working at the end, but... And I think we'll take care of the saline water down the bottom. Alright, so that is 600. That's going to hit the row report, isn't it? Yep. Yep, okay. That's fine. All we do is move these guys up by 1. So 150 each, so that means we need 20. So and we also need to fix this water. We don't need that much water. Actually, no, we can just do this. Make that nice and clean. And we don't have any ores that are going to be blocking our water placement, so that's perfectly fine. Hopefully this robot being very, very close to the water fill doesn't cause any problems, but I don't expect it to. Okay. Alright. So 20 of these times 30 is 600. Is 4 clarifiers. Because they do about 160 each. Okay, there we go. Job done. Okay, purified water taken care of. And it's still reasonably within the frame. Alright, so 0.25, so for a total of 60 in, we're going to get 15 out. And we're going to crush these. Might as well just use this, actually. Because we've got it, so we might as well use it. Do that there. This one is for the rubite, so it's going to be the cyan geodes. And this one is the red one. I don't know if that's going to be enough. There's 15. 3, 6, 15. Okay. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Okay, well, we only need half, apparently. So we can get rid of all that. So yeah, there is going to be the third. I will actually put them together. Might as well put together the crushed stone. Station load. More crushed stone, please. And then we have the crystal dust. So this one is... So it's currently... That comes at 22.5. That comes out to 7.5. So... Should just be able to do that. And, of course... Now, if my calculations are correct, that should only be a single station for crystal dust. Okay, and that's taken care of. All of the crystals are taken care of. It's a little bit funky, but I don't really care. That's going to be very funky. We don't have room for that at all. Oh, this is... We need to change this as well. This is Bobmonium chunks. That's a lot of machines. Where we start getting into the really serious ones, where we need to do... I think it's flotation. No, not flotation. Crystallizing something or other. Than it's like an extra step. You need to chunk it and then you need to crystallize it. We're going to start... And this isn't even... When we get to green belts, my god, I'm not sure what we're going to do about these guys. We have to throw beacons. I mean, we'll throw beacons at everything. And potentially prod modules as well. So we'll see how we go. Yeah. And then, of course, when you use prod modules, you need less machines because you're still just trying to get 4 output belts. So, yeah, it all becomes a bit simpler. Anyway. Sulfuric wastewater. We've got 2 beautiful stations over here for the wastewater. Fluid train load. This will make this for the nitric. Nitric wastewater, and this one for the sulfuric wastewater. And I might as well copy. Where's my little setup? Okay, that's probably a bit too overblown, but we'll take it. I'm gonna put this over here. Move it down a little bit so it matches up. And then this one goes to the train station. Might as well just do this. Alright. And we're going to build an identical one of these. But over here instead. And this one is going to be nitric wastewater. And now we just need to get it out of this area, which is easier said than done, but And do that. That helps a little bit. We got some pipe spaghetti going on here, but I'm okay with it. Well, I'm not okay with it, but I will live with it, to be honest. I mean, I will live with it. The alternative is taking this entire structure and moving it up. Of which I kind of want to do now. I'm going to be honest, I kind of want to do that right now. We're not going to move the water up though, because that's going to mess with all the water stuff. But all of this, if we move it up, and make sure, so just move it up by a few spaces. That should be enough. And then we don't want to mess with these power poles because we actually want to leave them where they are. All right. No longer lining up. Did we move that across by one without realizing it? I don't think so. I don't think we did that. All right. Okay, so do that. And now we got plenty of room. We can get rid of all of these pipe shenanigans because we just do not need them anymore. We do want the sulfuric water to be a bit lower. So we'll do that. We'll still do a little bit of shenanigans. Actually, no, let's not do any shenanigans. Let's just do boom, boom, boom. And then we can get away with absolutely no shenanigans whatsoever. A little bit off, but am I really going to move this entire thing up by 2 tiles? Well, you probably already knew the answer to that, but yes. Yes, the answer is yes. We're going to move it up by 2 tiles so we don't have to do this. Get rid of that mess. We definitely don't need that mess anymore. All right. Now we just need the same thing to happen over here, except it's going to be 1 higher, which means this whole setup needs to be 1 higher. Which means this needs to be 1 higher, which fits perfectly. Okay, beautiful. Now everything will look fantastic. Move those back over, move those back over. Don't need that many gaps. What the hell are you doing? I have no idea. All right. So theoretically, that should just be good. Everything should just be good. And we're just waiting for everything to be built. Well, not exactly waiting for everything to be built. We are already got some crushed stone here, which is very nice. We do need to make some buildings right now. How is this stuff done? Just doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Not really building up anything yet, but once these guys back up all the way, then they should be fine. Fuel oil is looking pretty good. The coke is looking very good. All the farms are taking ages to build. So if we go down to here, once again it's clay bricks, and if we have a look at clay bricks, this building is actually the bottleneck, but it's 2 per second right now, so. And lime is also starting to be a little bit of a bottleneck, but that's fine. This is running at the same speed as this once you factor in the ratio, so it's all good. Sand seems to be fine. The mud, what is it? Mud, clay seems to be fine. That's fine. We'll leave it. Unfortunately, it'll probably slow down our production of these buildings, but we do have... Oh, we already automated those. Okay. I now need to automate these flotation cells. Okay. Flotation cell. What do you take? You take the pipes. The pipes. It's very annoying. Okay, well, I guess we're improvising again. As always, spaghetti is everywhere in this space, in this starter mall. We'll move it down a little bit, save ourselves some room. Alright. Of course, it requires flotation cell 2s, which we never even made. We've never even made these, so... Gonna have to make them from scratch. But everything else, concrete, aluminium, advanced circuits, brass, everything else we've got. Alright, so what do you require? Green circuits. Require... Or do I want to do something wacky like this and squeeze it up there? I kind of do. I have no idea how we'd be getting it out, but... we can get it out like that. Alright. Let's have a look. So this is... had to be bronze pipe, didn't it? It had to be... it couldn't be steel. We've got steel pipes here. It had to be bronze pipe. And bronze plate. Okay, well, you know what? No, actually, we can't make that work. Because this building is in the way. Oh god, the spaghetti is starting to get ridiculous. Now here's what we do. This one picks up from there. Then we can cut this down. You know what? Am I close enough to actually just go over and do these things? Maybe I am. Actually, no, I'm not. It's quite far away. Alright, anyway. Bots, get a move on. I need some seriously dodgy stuff to happen here. Okay. You pick up from there. That'll give us a bronze. You are going to drop over there. And you're going to pick up from over there. That'll take care of the green circuits. Clay brick comes off the same as the bronze thing, so that's fine. And then we can put a machine here. This is still an underground. Pick up there. And for the grand finale, drop there, pick up there. And that is bronze pipe. Aren't I going to look silly if this was actually bronze pipe the whole time? Nah, steel pipe. But anyway, once all this madness gets actually put down, should be fine. Long. Okay, done. Done. How's our power looking? Still pretty good. We haven't triggered the accumulators to go down. We did have them for a little while. They spiked up amazingly. Amazingly. You can see the instant the steam engine 2 spiked up, the accumulator started going uphill. So we were producing a massive amount of power. Which is wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Okay, I'm going to let that go. That should be everything we need once the bots get onto it. Now we got this, and we've got these. We should have everything here. We're going to need some power poles branching over. These have got power. Okay, now we're in a little bit of an awkward spot because I like this setup. I think it's a good setup, but there is no way that I'm going to copy and paste it for the other 3 ores until we have actually tested it. So testing is absolutely 100% required before we do anything. Yeah. What we can do is we can go back over here. Alright, so here's the deal. We're going to have an unload station here. And it's going to be for crystal dust. And we're going to have one over here as well. Oh, no, that's for sulfuric acid. Okay, well, if that's the case, then I want to have them in the same spot. So we'll do it over here instead. Could have them both share the same station, but whatever. Alright. Go all the way back over there. So, I'm still going to go at the top, because I really don't want to smash into this block if I don't have to, because we can use that block for solar later on. Okay. And we'll might as well just go right under the row report. That isn't enough room, is it? It is, actually. Input priority left. Okay. And then we just copy and paste that everywhere. Well, everywhere it'll fit anyway. Why isn't this... some power poles are really, really just pushing up on these guys. Alright. Okay. Join those all up. And that will be absolutely fine. And we're going to do the same thing over here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we could make that a red belt. I'm not sure. It's probably at some point we'll make it a red belt, but not sure how necessary it'll be. Well, that copy and paste didn't work correctly. I forgot the bottom bit. I didn't forget the bottom bit over here. Make sure we don't copy too much because we don't want to accidentally change the recipes. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. And we'll move it up at the same spot, which is right over there. And like to keep things so about there. And we'll make a few trains. Oh, we already got some trains here. All right. Go away. Let's get some crystal dust trains. Because, yeah, we did check the recipe, and there's really not much you can do with crystal dust other than putting it into that process. So we kind of have to do this because there's no other way of getting rid of crystal dust. Refuel. Fortunately, we will be using an epic amount of mineral catalyst, so we should have no worries actually using up all the crystal dust we're creating. The only thing that might concern us is we might have to upgrade that to a red belt on the mineral catalyst creation side. Okay. You need to be moved up, up, up. Actually, we'll leave that there and we'll put a second one. And then you need to be moved up. You're just waiting on a power pole for your power. Yeah. None of these have been created yet. Almost all of these have been created. So that's nice. Just bots taking their sweet time. The problem is we're doing so many farms. And the farms are going to be destroying, absolutely annihilating. Or the fact that the bots are still, we're still waiting on the bots to do that is a problem. All right, I'm going to go over there and I'm going to manually fix that up because right now we're just stockpiling those, not concrete bricks, clay bricks. We're just stockpiling those clay bricks and we definitely want to keep them flowing. That's a little bit too high. Sometimes I wonder if we should just make a tank for going through these, but no, a tank would just be so much slower. It'll be good when we finally get rid of the non-infinite parts of this bombonium mine. Give ourselves a bit more room, although by the time that happens we'll probably be switched over to the mega ball. There we go, there's a bit more room. Alrighty. Missing power poles. Alright. Make this a bit faster. Okay. 40 clay bricks. My god, clay bricks are killing us. They are absolutely killing us. This guy's just waiting on flotation cells. Have we even built a single one? I'm not sure. But yeah, the rest of these are probably waiting on float. we definitely finished off all these crystallizer too, so we don't need any more of those. And I think we've got enough of the ore sorting facility 3s. Look at those little bots go. They're so excited. Yeah, it's just clay brick. All right, I think we've got a pretty good build, but what we need right now is to test it, and we're not going to be able to test it until we fix clay bricks for like the 17th time. I mean, it really is the 17th time here. So I think what we're doing is this build is just terrible. We need to fix it. So let's have a look. Clay bricks take, just smelt this, lime, clay, and sand. Lime takes a bit of carbon and limestone, which gets pulled in from here. Clay is there, and sand is there. And clay is just... Alright, so all we need is a really big washing area. I don't think we really... I mean, we do have... No, these aren't really big. Do we have a really big washing area anywhere? The closest one we have is there, but I really don't want to reuse that. So I think what we do, as much as it pains me to say it, is we're going to set up a brand new... Actually, I'm not sure why it would pain me to say it, but we're going to set up a brand new area for clay bricks, because this is just terrible and pathetic and not at all what we signed up for. And why have I got so much wood? Yeah, trash unrequested. Get rid of it. Alright, so this looks like a pretty nice area to do this. And get one over there as well. I don't carry washing plants on me, so we're going to need the bots to provide everything here. Oh, look at that. Look at all that sand. That sand was for our temporary build. And I think we've probably got enough Beanafran seeds, so we can probably turn this off. And does require a bit of sand, so hello, look at that. We already got some sand. Not sure if there's going to be enough sand, but... Okay. Let's build this like we build any other build, which is... I'm not going to say 30 per second, because that's a bit ridiculous, but 15 per second. Is we're going to say we want 15 per second. So, give me, turn off that, give me that stone, and give me some stone furnaces. Alrighty. So, actually, let's have a look at the current one. Oh, this is a steel furnace. Steel furnace does 2 per second. These are half the speed. I don't think we even automated these. Let's just do these. That's fine. So we need 15. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to do old classic recipe. The old classic. Which I don't think we have used for a very long time. But we're bringing it back. I thought I built a whole bunch of these. 26. I have 26. Why aren't you placing them? There'll be some reason. Maybe because they're inside a robot network. Oh no, there they go. They finally woke up. Alright. Concrete bricks. So, we need carbon. You know what? We do need carbon, but we also need coal. So I'm just going to get some coal coming down here. And obviously we need some power as well. So now we need the unburnt clay bricks, which just go in a basic assembler. Like like this. Go away, belt. You are not needed anymore. 3. Producing 0.5 per second. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're actually going to do it like this. Yeah. We can do that. We can do it a little bit better than this. That's a little bit janky. And then we need this as well. All right. So one of these is a full belt of clay and the other one is a half belt of sand and lime. Okay, you're a long, and you're a long, and you are power poles. And none of these guys are going to be working fast enough. Yes, 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 and yes. 0.5 per second, so that's 2 per second. 4, 6. Damn Roboport. Alright. Gotta move the whole thing across by 1. Including this power pole. I'll move that back. There would 1 each, 0.5 each. Okay, so to do 15, we need 30. So that is a total of 1, 2, 3, there's 12, 24. And might as well just do 32 for the sake of it. Okay. All right. So, sand, we need 12.5 sand per second. That's not going to cut it. Wait, what? 12.5? No, that's not right. 6. We need 7.5 sand per second. That's a bit better. Alright. I'm not going to touch this too much. This is doing stuff that it needs to do. We don't actually need... I'm going to get rid of this one, and we're going to rebuild it from scratch, because we're going to need a lot of washing plants here. Going to need a lot of washing plants. Did this not work? I could have sworn that was going to work. Apparently it didn't. All right. Well, poop. For some reason I thought that would work. All right. Not that it really matters anyway, but... Alright, so... 7.5 sand per second. Let's just get some washing machines down. I'm not saying we're going to need a huge build here, but we are going to need a big build. Alright... So those are sand, 1.5, 7.5. On the other side we need lime. Lime is a whole other mess, so what we're going to do is just... do that. And then clay is a whole other mess, so... Oh, no, not what we wanted. Damn it. And please hook that up. How is our actual build going? Doing pretty decent, except these things are obviously just completely dead. I would have thought we'd created a few of them by now. Have we not created like a single one? Really? Not a single one? Clay bricks. Concrete bricks. Okay, concrete bricks are pretty slow, but we do have 2 in there, so we're very, very close to making our first one of these. But apparently concrete bricks. We're making this in this little jank build over here. That's what this jank build is making. Yeah. Well, at least it doesn't take clay bricks, because that would be annoying. Alrighty. So, let's talk about sand for a second. I'm not going to do anything fancy with the water. We're just going to put a pump there. These guys... We might share that water with other things, but for now, these guys are just going to have their own water. So, 3 thin. That's all it needs. 3 thin. All right. Washing plants. I would like washing plants in my inventory, please. You are... Okay, so we need a 4th one. I'm just going to try and make them separate. Thin, light, concentrated, heavy. Don't know if the ratio is correct. Don't really care. This will produce 60 per second, and we need way less than that. So the ratio is kind of a bit who cares. And now we just need... like that. And we need some chests. Am I not requesting... not requesting iron chests at all? Not going to bother recycling these guys. Just put it... Give them a chest each. Yellow inserter is all they need. And maybe in a million years they'll actually fill up. Okay. So that is sand. Done. Clay. How do we make clay again? Clay is concentrated mud water. Okay. How much clay do we need? 4. So we need 15 clay per second. V... Might be able to reuse the existing build. It depends on how fast these machines are. 0.89. Okay, that's friggin' terrible. We need twice as much, and the washing plants are producing it at half the rate. That's not good. Horizontal. Horizontal. So to produce 15... What's 15 divided by 0.89? 16.8, which we're going to say is 18. So, that's 6, 8. Can kind of fit another one there. Kind of. We're really squeezing it into this space, but that's fine. God damn it. Hate it. Hate it. Hate it when that happens. Okay. And you will go down to there and do something. Because this is we need 9 per thing. 9 times 18 is 170. This one only produces 60 up here, so we can't even steal a bit off this one. It's just impossible. Really pushing hard on this silicon build, but that's okay. And then we copy and paste that. 1, 2, 3. Oh, wait a sec. This is the big one. This is the one that we need a lot of. Okay, never mind. We're going to have another one coming up here. That'll be for the lime. The lime comes up this belt. All right. Those power poles are probably too far away. But it is what it is. Join them all up, get them all powered. And then we just need water. We could share the water from this one. We'll definitely share the water over here. Is there enough room to share the water over here? Yes, there is. These are 7.5, so yeah, it's not getting anywhere close to the 1200 limit that this one is producing. Alrighty, so now we have our 18 washing plants. 18 times 9 is 162. And that is the concentrated mud water. So, concentrated mud water. This is making light. Alright, so we got a bit too much here. So this is concentrated mud water. 60, 60, 60. Alright, beautiful. Like so. And then like so. And then we just need a bunch of this. And we go and just copy this guy. All right. And that should be good enough. We might also want to put some inserters for the sand. That's probably a good idea. Now they're only on a half belt, so we don't need to do anything special with the inserters. These guys should start running as soon as this gets placed down and the rest of the pipes get placed down. And then all we need is 7.5 lime per second, which is limestone, which is blast furnace. Do we have... We do have level 2 blast furnaces in here. Alright. If I look hard enough, there's probably a bunch just lying around my inventory, but we're just gonna... Lime. 1.5, and we need a total of 7.5. Okay. If we remember correctly, there it is, there's that belt up there. Need to get rid of this crap as well, and then power pole on the right. And we only need a half belt of this stuff, so don't need to worry about the inserters. And let's get... I might actually have requested these, so they might be in my inventory, but we'll just do that anyway. 18.7. Should have more than enough. Okay, so then limestone. Limestone comes out of one of these. We need 7.5 limestone per second. Again, what's with the 0.89 BS? Alright, well we know from up here we're going to need 9 of these guys. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. And these are going to be limestone. And these are 1-to-1. We're also going to need some fuel. Did we need carbon at some point for something? I was literally just fuel. Fuel for the furnaces, that's all we needed it to. Okay, so we can just use coal then. Alright, so that takes care of that. I'll use the fast inserters. I don't really think I need to, but it has to take in the fuel and the other stuff, so we might as well use a fast inserter. Alright, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Again, only half belt is necessary. And then we need 6 light mud water. 6 times 9 is not a lot. It's really not a lot. It's like 54. Can we steal it from somewhere else? We could steal it from here, actually. Can we? Yeah, so this guy does 300 per second. So this guy does 60, this guy's... No, we did say that for 18 times 9, it is 162, which means we've got 18 left over. 18 left over. Okay, that's not going to be enough. Not going to be enough. Alright, let's just do this then. Okay. So that's concentrated mud water, light mud water, thin mud water. Oh, these guys take light? Okay, we don't need the last step then. Light, you are light mud water. So all these need 54, and this one produces 60. Okay, I get why these ones aren't running, but why aren't you running? You don't have any water. Okay, that's a valid excuse. Alright. And then... big builds. And all of these should now be running. We should be churning out tons of limestone. Should be turning out tons of lime. Should be a full half a belt coming out of these guys. 9 times 0.9 is 8.1. So it should be definitely be 7.5. Yep, this guy's backed up already. And these are all doing beautiful. Yeah, these guys should definitely... And this one's working. And we've got the lime going out. And pretty soon we're going to have the unburnt... Yep, there we go. We got some coming out. Alright, beautiful. Now, let's just hook it in. Where is clay bricks? Clay bricks are here. Just above the bronze. Yes, I know that's very, very dodgy behavior. We could potentially shut that top one off now, if we really wanted to, but the important thing is we have fixed clay bricks. They are all fixed. So, what are we doing now? Well, we gotta make sure this is working properly first. We should have a few of these. We do have a few of these. It's not doing anything. Saline water? How did that happen? Okay. When I moved things over, I must have did the wrong one. Okay. Clear that entire network. Okay, so we're still moving saline water down here. That's fine. So that's why all these guys backed up, because they were backed up on purified water. Okay. Alright, and that length is correct. Beautiful. So, should be chunking some stuff very, very, very shortly. Oh. Oh. Oh, 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 oh. Alright. This is going to be a disaster. A very, very quick disaster. Actually, no, it's not. Boom. Alright, beautiful. God, I almost messed that up in a big way. Now the question is, can we have a generic? We can't really, because each one of these produces a cyan, and there's 6 different types of geodes, aren't they? So we can't really say this one is any sort of chunk, because there's 6 different types of chunks. So we're going to have to, and then shift in, and then this one is going to be the cyan geodes. Okay. Okay. Hopefully I'm doing this right. I want to make sure I don't absolutely mess up the near and far inserters, because that would make things awkward. Alrighty. And then we're going to do this. I think that worked. Near and far. Beautiful. Alright. And you're going to be Bobmonium and Bobmonium. And you are going to be the other type. I might as well just copy the inserters over, because then at least when I select it, it would be on the right tab. Alright. H. And then 6, 8, 10. And I'm going to make it a bit easier on myself right now. Well, it's a little bit easier, but still hard to know exactly where to put things. That actually does make it harder, because now we have to put it on the 10 middle ones, and I don't know where the 10 middle ones are. Okay, it's right there. We may have messed up these a little bit if we messed that up, but near, far, near, far, near, far, near. Okay, it seems to be good. All right, so that was a crisis averted before it even happened. And these pipes haven't even been built anyway, so what's the point? All right, concrete bricks. No, it's clay bricks. Now no longer a problem. Well, still a bit of a problem because we're only putting out half a belt. We could upgrade these to red belts, but yeah, the farm is stealing a lot of these. But having said that, these guys are fine because they only need these ones. Okay, this should stop soon enough, and then it'll start making farms again. This guy is just waiting on the concrete bricks, which are still in a very, very, very janky setup. What's the deal with this pump? Pumps should have been fixed ages ago. I mean, we've built, yeah, bronze. Is this another one of those things where... Actually, I remember pumps being broken last time. And did I just not fix it? Bronze pipe? Okay. Alright. That's one way to get it over there. What's going on over here? Ah, more of this crazy stuff. Radar 2s, steel bearings. And we are using radars every time we build a new station, so I'm going to have to deal with this. There's some steel bearings. Shift L. I swear to God, there's like a million different recipes that changed when I upgraded Bob's Angels, but I upgraded it like 15 episodes ago and I'm still finding things that the recipe has just changed in a small way. These inserters, we're not out of them, we're just taking time for the robots to put them down. Well, that'll fix that anyway. Are there any other buildings that are like actually red? This one, storage tank. We have storage tanks. We are making them somewhere. I don't know where though. Probably making them over here somewhere. Yeah, we're making them over here. All right. What do they need to be made? Bronze and bronze pipe. How the hell do you have iron gear wheels in your output? That shouldn't be happening. All right, well, good news is it just takes bronze. And we have bronze. And we have bronze pipes. Pick up. We have to move this one up here, and then we do another one here. Shift E, pick up, drop. Oh, we've already got an inserter picking up from there and then dropping it. Okay, that's nice. And it's got one picking up from steel as well. All right, so that should fix that. This is a weird inserter. It's almost like I planned to put this assembly machine down and then I just never did. Right. Yeah, fluid wagon's another one that we were slowly running out of without even realizing it. I did actually send bearings up here. What was that jank I did? Oh, it was the bearings to get it over there. So it was over there as well. So maybe I could have thrown it across, but let's have a bit of a look. These guys are running out, but that's fine. They're just missing trees. These guys are running out of plastic. That's fine. We could get the other plastic that we did for the dodgy red circuits in there if we really wanted some more robots, but I don't think we really need them at the moment. We got a ton of robots. This is backed up already. Beautiful. All right. So let's have a look. Assuming this has been put down. All right, we're chunking stuff. We're not chunking a huge amount, but we are chunking it. Crystal catalyst. All right, we got some geodes coming down. That's very nice. We need some crystal catalyst trains. I don't believe I ever made any. Yeah, okay, let's make some of those. 2, 6. We're not actually going to make 6 crystal catalyst trains, but yeah. Hey, Cameron. Apologies if I didn't see your comment straight away. I kind of get laser focused. Bob's Angels is basically just way more complicated than vanilla. I'm not going to go into everything that it does differently, but let's just talk about iron plates for a second. So normally you mine iron ore from the ground and then you smelt it into an iron plate. Here we take 2 different resources. We take sapphirite ore. Here we mine it from the ground. And we take jivalite and we mine it from the ground. And this is a more advanced recipe to just get iron. So we take jivalite and sapphirite ore. We crush each of them, which spits out some crushed stone we have to deal with. And then we take both of those as well as a mineral catalyst, and that produces the iron ore for us. And the mineral catalyst we produce using some crazy crystal build, which I'm not even going to go into because it's going to take forever. But yeah. So the iron ore, we then process it and turn it into processed iron. And then we mix it with coke, which is a derivative product of coal. And we use that to make iron ingots. And we're making 6 full belts of iron ingots here. And then up here, we take the iron ingots and we turn them into molten iron. And then we combine the molten iron with water to create some iron sheet coils. We could also convert it directly into iron plates, but we take the iron sheet coils because an iron sheet coil basically represents 4 iron plates. So it's a lot better for transport throughput. And then the sheet coils, basically we're currently taking them back into our starter base right here. We just send them across the belt over here. And then we unwrap them into iron plates. And that's not the simplest way of getting it iron plates in Bob's Angels, but that is the most efficient way we get it in Bob's Angels at the moment. And there are other ways as well, like you've got these janky old sorting recipes which just take sapphirite but they spit out iron or copper ore and slag. We used to use those. As soon as we got the mineral catalyst, we switched over to the pure recipes, which are a lot better. And additionally, when we create the ingots down here... No, I skipped a step. No, I didn't skip a step. It's here. All right, so here, what you actually you take the iron ore, you get half processed iron, and then you get 3 times iron ingots for processed iron. So by creating the processed iron and mixing in some coke, you actually get a 50% productivity bonus on your iron ingots. And this is just second level iron ingot processing. There are more iron ingot processing levels later on that give you additional productivity bonuses, but they require more complicated processes. And that is basically Bob's Angels in a nutshell. So that's how you make iron plate. A vast amount of the processes are just like that. Like this example is our wood process. It's got like 7 different steps, and we need wood for actually making circuit boards. So right now we're just making what we call the second tier ores, I guess you could say, which is silicon, which we need for certain sciences and for solar panels. We need it for blue science, and then we also need to make aluminium, zinc. Zinc is only used for buildings, but we still do want to make it, and silver. We need ores for all of those, and then they're going to need to be transferred into ingots as well. So it starts to really add up. Okay. So, crystal catalyst. And yes, we need second level catalysts for these fancy ones. So let's go ahead and start making these work. We're going to refuel, and we're going to depot. And thankfully that's all we need to do to set up a train, because everything else was just taken care of. We got a refuel. This is actually our refuel. Currently we're loading the trains with coal, but we can change that to something else later. We will change that to something else later on, but you do not want to know what the recipe is for rocket fuel in Bob's Angels. It makes iron ore look like it makes iron plates look like a joke. It is petrochem of the highest. Like this is the dummy setup that we just made to produce plastic. Like this complicated absolute mess. And then we figured out a better way of doing plastic later on once we unlock some tech. But yeah, plastic is dead. And then plastic is fine from over here. Anyway, so there we go. So that will be crystal catalysts. They're all filling up. And 1 or 2 of these will head over to our new silicon base. And then we can start to see some silicon come out. Unfortunately, it will take a while because our inserters, we got 4 inserters in this very janky setup here. And they're the fastest, bulkiest inserters we currently have access to. In the future, we're going to have better inserters, faster, more hand size. And also we're going to fit another 4 inserters over here, taking from this into that. And we can't do that yet because we don't have the drop tile position, the Bob's inserter configuration, but eventually we will, and we'll have 8 inserters over there, and this wagon will be basically filled up instantly. Like 5 seconds, 3 seconds, something like that. It'll be extremely fast. But for now, these guys are actually doing a pretty good job. 728. They're not quite fast enough for a full red belt, but you can't really see the slowdown of them loading it in there, so yeah. Alright, so all we're waiting for right now is the crystal catalyst to come in to prove that this system works, and we have actually backed up fully on the chunks on this belt, so this will be a nice good test. The crystals are going down. Not much is happening at the moment because all these belts are backed up, but once they start going through a bit more, then we'll start to see. Hopefully we don't have any problems with these guys, because yeah, we cut this in half, so basically is a near, far, and then... Well, there's just a far by itself. So what I might actually do is we might extend this. We don't need it, but it'll be good to make sure that the crystal belts are balanced out. Because this will produce exactly one full belt, and it might get a bit weird if we don't have an even number of near-far ones going on. All right. So it looks like 2 trains are heading over because it requires 2 trains to fully work. And there we go. Crystal catalysts coming out on the station. It's a very, very exciting moment. Unfortunately, they have a little bit of a journey to get up to the actual build, but should be fine. So 1 per second and 32, so it takes 30 per second, but yep, that should be beautiful. I just want to see some silicon ore on the belt so badly. And then once we see some, then we are pretty much free to do all the other ores. And the other ores will basically be one of those do it in the background sort of things. Like we'll basically just copy and paste this entire thing and then boom, 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 done. And we'll just have to adjust the recipes after that. But yeah, let's see. The main thing I'm worried about is not so much that silicon ore actually gets produced, but that it gets put on the belt correctly, that we don't start running into throughput issues. It's going to be very hard with most of these not actually built, but for some reason it's doing the ones at the back first. I really don't understand why it's doing that. Like, okay, like this would be a throughput issue normally, but obviously that's only going to last a little while. Eventually, okay. These ones are already running a little bit stacked up, but then again, this is designed for red belts, so it should be fine. All should be fine. All right. Yeah, silicon ore on the way, and the other belts should be... As soon as this crystal catalyst makes it up all the way, then we should be fine. All right, I think I'm going to call this a success. We've got... maybe not a total success. We still need to power these. We got nitric wastewater, sulfuric wastewater. The trains are empty. That's not good. Okay, what's going wrong here? Oh, of course, because the pumps are unpowered. That makes sense. But yeah, that should fix that up eventually. Okay. Yep, there we go. It's got some more silicon going. I feel like we're almost at the point. What I'm going to do is we're going to start setting up the stations. We can set up a lot of these to be the same, but what are we going to do first? Zinc is the least useful one. Aluminium and silver are both useful, but we're going to need a ton of aluminium. Not sure if that really matters too much. Look at all those bloody trees. All right. I got to remember what the actual layout is. I think what I'll do is I'll copy this. Do we want to copy it yet? Are we satisfied that it's all perfectly working? We'll wait for these power poles to go down, and then we'll be satisfied. Oh, that's a thing of beauty. Some of these belts still look a little bit not quite full. The two on the outside look pretty full, though, and that's the important thing. And these belts, they're no longer stacked up. They're now flowing freely. So that is beautiful. Come Come on, power poles. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Actually got a ton of nitric wastewater here. A lot more nitric than sulfuric. I guess because... I don't know. I don't know why that is. Oh yeah, it's only producing half as much sulfuric wastewater. Okay. You know, I think I'm just going to assume that it's good. We're just going to assume that it's good and hope for the best. So we're going to take it down to about here. And we need to delete these. Always need to delete these power poles, the ones right in the middle. Always, always, always. If I could go back in time, I would make those a little bit better. But anyway. I Control Z that because I think my hand slipped a bit. Alright. Need to get rid of these power poles as well. Okay, that's good. It's complaining about one of the pumps for the water. I don't know why. Is there something weird going on here? Apparently not. Very strange. Now it's complaining about a whole bunch of them. Sometimes the water placement is just... the water fill is just very, very weird. Okay, well, that's done. Massive amounts of buildings now being placed. And probably a bit overkill, but it's all good. All right. So we're going to do aluminium first and then silver. And the reason I wanted these down is so I can actually see where the belts are going. Because otherwise it's a bit too annoying. All right, so aluminium ore. Oh, we just highlighted gold ore. Gold is a tier 3 ore. It requires the crystallizing process. All right. So now we can go over here. Silver. I'm really not sure if we're ever going to need 4 red belts of silver ore, but we might as well make it, and if we don't need it, we don't need it. And then zinc, which we definitely won't need it. They're not even used for blue science. They're only used for the buildings, but I'm going to make it anyway. Because eventually we're going to have a mega ball. And when we have the mega ball, we're going to need to send zinc to it. Some of the things like brass and bronze, I'm not sure if they'll actually have their own station. They may just, we'll just ship in the ingots and then they'll just make it on site. But we'll double check if they're actually used for science down the road before we do that. Okay. Okay. Crystal catalyst and crystal catalyst. Okie dokie. Then this is where we get the ores out. And we can get these stations will be identical. So we can just copy and paste these stations. These 4 over here. These 4 over here. And those 4 over there. Okay. Now, I'm going to do a little bit of belt work just to save me from having to do it manually. And everything from this point on is custom. Get those pipes all the way down. Alright, so aluminium. Might as well go and fix the recipes up. And that'll tell us what we need. So yellow and white. Might as well put white on the right hand side. And yellow over here. And that means these guys are going to be... Nope, that's the wrong one. That's... That's this one. We need this one. Okay, and then as far as the crystals go, that's going to be white, and this is light green and purple. Okay, so we had no chance there. We had no chance of keeping those. Yellow is to white. H like that. I think I'm just going to go the 2x2 approach up here. Was that 2x2? 6. Maybe I should have made a way for a near and far inserter to be on both sides, but it was a little bit annoying to do that, to fit that into the blueprint, so we'll just do this instead. All right, so yellow and purple geodes. Yellow and purple geodes. Near and far. Far and near. Near and far. Okay. H. 4, 6. The problem is they all look completely identical. So when you're going up by you're just trying to make sure you go up by 2, but it's very hard to tell if you're actually going up by 2. Okay, that looks pretty good. All right, so the purple. So these need to be purple. And these need to be light green. Now this is where things get a little bit complicated. Okay, so we've got half a belt of each of these, which means half a belt of this, and 0.75. So that equals 1.25 belts of crystal, which unfortunately is more than one. So that's half a belt of that, and it's 4.5 of the crushed stone, which is more than one of that. So we are now outputting more than one belt of crushed, of crystal dust, and more than one belt of crushed stone, which is very annoying. for this particular process. So we're going to have to do something about this. I mean, we do have room for more stations, thankfully, but this is crystal, so we'll just create another crystal. And we just won't merge these. And this crush is going to be a little bit hard. So I think what we're just going to have to do is that. Have a little bit of an offshoot. And then we're going to need another crush stone station. No, we need that one. We need that one for the actual ore. So it'll have to go over here. Oh, we need that. Okay, well, I guess it goes over here then. My God. We ran out of stations on the left-hand side. Really? Ran out of stations? Yeah, we only had one extra. So I guess it has to go on the right. Very, very annoying. And very janky too, but we do what we must to get things done. All right, so that's crushed stone. And that's pretty much it. That's annoying, but we've got it done at the moment. This is enough, and the extra will be pushed out onto this one. All right, beautiful. Now we need yellow on the left-hand side. So, station unload. Give me some Givelite ore, please. No, Givelite ore, please. And that is, well, we got to figure out the fluids. So the top fluid, which is on the right station. All right, hang on a sec. This one goes to the left. The left one goes to the left. Fluoric wastewater goes to the left. Okay. Fluid, train, load. Fluoric wastewater. And what does this one spit out? Chloric wastewater. As you can see, we've got oodles of different types of wastewaters, just absolutely everywhere. Chloric wastewater. And they will become useful later on, but for now, they are not really useful. And the interesting thing is, I'll actually show you. Let's have a look at gold ore while we're waiting for this stuff. So gold ore, the pure recipe, requires 3 different crystals and a hybrid catalyst. Hybrid catalyst is just mixing these 2 catalysts together, but it's 2 plus 2 equals 2, which sucks. But it takes crystals, and the crystals actually take acid. So sapphirite crystals take sulfuric acid. This one takes nitric acid. This one takes sulfuric acid, but the different crystals take different types. You can see rubite. I think rubite spits out nitric wastewater, but then it takes in nitric acid to actually crystallize it. And then there's a 4th step as well, which is purifying it, but that doesn't require anything. It just requires a really big building, but no actual middle steps. So it's kind of a mirror. Like when we crystallize crotinium, we'll probably need chloric acid or something like that. Actually, let's have a look. Can we see? Yeah, it takes hydrochloric acid. Sulfuric, hydrofluoric, sulfuric, nitric. So 3 of them take sulfuric, and then we've got nitric, hydrochloric, and hydrofluoric. which we create using the wastewater. So it's like a big, beautiful circle of life thing. I'm not sure if it's net positive, if we even need to ship in the hydrofluoric, or if we can just make it from the wastewater when we're making the crystals for gold and whatever, but yeah. All right, so theoretically, that is aluminium done. How are we looking over here? Taken a while to do stuff. How is our farm looking? Taken a while to make stuff. This is... We're going to be still building stuff from 2 episodes ago if we don't watch what we're doing. Alright. I feel like this is a good time to upgrade this building and to upgrade this inserter. We're no longer low on the concrete bricks. And yeah, that takes 4.5 of those per second, which is quite a lot. Could put another one down there. It's still going to be within power pole range, so that's nice. Alright. Yeah, what are you... It's literally the concrete bricks. And for some reason, power poles. We definitely haven't got some sort of old crappy build. Okay, maybe we can upgrade that. Upgrade that. No. We did just place down a lot of them, so that's alright. But funnily enough... Really? Really? That's... All the buildings got placed down? Okay. Are you really saying that you've got this many ore sorting facility 3s in storage? Because I do not believe that for a second. You got 5. You got 5 in storage, and there's like 100 that need to be placed. I don't think it's even examining them, probably because I ordered the bots to destroy a whole bunch of trees, so they're still busy destroying trees, and they haven't even got to that stuff yet. But, alright, let's continue moving on. So, silver. This is silver, right? This is silver. Okay, first things first. Well, let's just go through the recipe. So we did silver. Hopefully we don't need to go janky with anything again. Bobmonium and stirotite. They look pretty safe. Alright, we already got bobmonium. Done. Beautiful. Easy. Stirotite. I have a feeling stirotite is going to be sulfuric wastewater. And yellow geodes. I might as well fix these up. Stirotite. Yellow geodes. Stirotite and yellow geodes. It was stirotite, right? Silver. Stirotite and bobmonium. Okay, beautiful. Making sure that I don't accidentally do the wrong thing. Alright. That's my stack of 2. That's a bit awkward. Shouldn't that tree have already been taken care of? I guess not. Thankfully, we only have to do 1/2 of this because bobmonium is awesome and it's used everywhere. All right, yellow. We're actually pretty sweet here because it produces less crystal dust and less crushed stone. So we're guaranteed. We're actually going to be producing barely any crushed stone. Well, less than 1 belt of crushed stone and 1/2 a belt of crystal dust for this particular setup. So that's very easy. Crushed stirotite. Okay. And then, yeah, 2 stations spitting out sulfuric acid. Do we just merge them together? I'll leave them separate because it's nice and simple. Okay, so fluid train load. This might be a waste of a train. Kind of is a waste of a train, but it's fine. I am happy to waste a train in that particular case. All right. That's it for silver. Oh, no, we need some stations here. All right, so we need bobmonium on the left. Good old bobmonium on the left. And then stereotyte on the right. Stereotyte. By the way, in case you're wondering, these parameterized builds are basically just setting the load value on the train station automatically depending on how much it's missing. And it also puts the total amount it's missing in terms of cargo wagon count onto this wire. So then you can have a look and you can see... What's that red and green signals doing on there? I don't know. It must be from my display. But yeah, you can see how much you've got. Like, for example, 24 green catalyst green signal means we've got 24 cargo wagons available. 2 green catalyst red signal means we've got 2 stations requesting a total amount of 2 cargo wagons of green catalyst. It could be that there's 1 station requesting 2 cargo wagons. It could be there's 2 stations requesting 1 cargo wagon each. It could be whatever. But yeah, that is the way that it works. All right, so that's silver. And then finally, we just have zinc. And I kind of want to put a straight rail there. And I think what we might do is we might finish setting this station up and then call it done, because there's not too much to do other than... Not much. There's really not much to do, actually, other than sitting around wait. We could fix up concrete bricks, make a new build for that, which would not be a bad idea, but... It's all right, bobmonium and givolite again. That's actually pretty good, because we've got bobmonium already, and we've got givolite right here. So what we can do is just copy and paste this entire thing. Okay. Yep, bobmonium and givolite. So these ones become givolite. I don't know. Every time I say givolite, it almost feels like a swear word. I don't know why, but it's just a thing. Alright, so bobmonium is red crystals. These are purple. Hopefully we stay within the range. Alright, that's 3. 3 is... Okay, so crystal dust, we're fine. That's 3 and 4.5. This one over here is 3 and 3. We might be over budget on these guys. Because, yeah, this is 3 and 4.5. This is 3 and 1.5. Yeah, I think we might be over budget on the crushed stone. But that's fine. We just add another one here. And we will need this fancy belt again. We could do some sort of fancy thing, but so red geode, purple geode, red and purple. Okay, and the red has got some place to put its extra ones, because, yeah. All right. We might be done with everything. Oh, we need some stations here. All right. Bombonium and Givelite. Station. Bombonium's on the left. Bombonium ore and bombonium ore. And then a bunch of Givelite. I did that correctly, right? Givelite. Bombonium and bombonium. All right, beautiful. And that's it. That is all 4 advanced ores, fully planned, fully blueprinted, fully ready to go, and one of them actually working, but taking a long time because of flotation cells. That's a decent amount. I suppose it's a full half a yellow belt when everything is red, but obviously everything is not red right now. So yeah, concrete bricks. I think concrete bricks may be the next thing we focus on, because we need a ton of them for these builds. But once these builds are done, I'm not sure if we're going to need a ton of them anymore. But that is a lot of stuff that we just made. And we're still going on the farms. Now, having said that, the farms are doing a pretty good job, actually. We're starting to bank up some fuel oil. And we can see here, as soon as we get below 20% accumulators, boom. So potentially we're actually turning this on when we don't need to. So what I might do is I might say this is, because this is so powerful, we'll say 5. Or say only when the accumulators are less than 5% does it turn on. And that way, if the solar is on the rise and it's about to fix up the accumulators again, then we're giving it a bit more of a, like right now, the solar is already on the rise, and I'm not sure about this graph. We're definitely still using a ton more power than we really should be. Like 204 megawatts for the row reports. Yeah, that's whatever it is. The important thing is we're not the base isn't blacking out. It isn't having any shutdowns anymore. I never understand it. Sometimes it's got 200, sometimes it's got 200, sometimes it's red, sometimes it's yellow. It makes no sense. But anyway, let's go over, have a bit of a look, and see if we can do anything easily. Because sometimes with these brick builds, you can just add one more building and double the speed. Like this one, the cement. The cement is slowing this thing down immensely. So you need 7.5. You are producing 18.75. It needs cement. And this one needs 1.5. Okay. So we're going to... So this one does 3 per second. This one does 1.5 per second. So potentially we could have 6 of these. Yeah, potentially we could have 6 of these. So we give ourselves a little bit of room here. We're going to... How do we get this out? You are going to get destroyed. We might get you out another way. No, that's too far. But that's not too far. Okay. Alright, which leaves this one free. Oh, we only need 1.5, so... that row report is a little bit annoying. Actually, can we just move this row report just a little bit? Just a little bit. And then that's a lot better. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hurry up and place that. Why are my bots not placing these things down? Like that at least should be fine. And we're just gonna make another few powder mixes. Okay, clay bricks. Well, I know of a place that has plenty of clay bricks that we can just go over and say hi to. Although we're probably going to need to go up onto the bus because we need some other stuff as well, like bronze. Alright, for steel actually. Any bet we're going to be able to make one. And then we'll need bronze. Yep, thought so. Okay. So that'll multiply our concrete bricks by a factor of 6. Which is pretty impressive. I don't have any bots. Why don't I have any? Where the hell are my construction bots? Are they trapped in like the Twilight Realm or something? Do we have a disconnected logistics? We don't have a disconnected... I think I went to the map view somewhere and the robots were like, yippee, let's go over and place some power poles halfway across the map. And yeah, since then I just haven't seen them ever again. Now eventually they'll come back, but it'll be a while. You're still hooked up to the network. Okay, it's beautiful. Alright, so this is now going to be a total of 3, so need a bit of an extra thing here. Oh, no, it's only 1.5 still. These buildings are just incredibly slow. So 1.5. We could even have another one of these if we wanted to. Yeah, because even this at full speed is slow as hell. Okay. How do we do this? That's an interesting question. Well, that one goes all the way over there, so... drop tile over there. Drop tile, power pole. And that'll get placed eventually, but there we go. Technically we could do 3 almost, but... we definitely should have enough there. And that will definitely get placed eventually. Okay, well, we've improved this by a fair amount. So I'm going to call that done. And then I guess next episode, we're just going to be building what we need to build based on these things. A lot of it is just going to be waiting, unfortunately, but we'll just build ahead of ourselves. And what we can start to build is, we can start to build a big plastic build right now, because liquid plastic, propane, methanol, and then this is easy. It's water, coal, and a tiny bit of aluminium and silver. And we have aluminium and silver now, so we could start to build this. And I don't know what we aim for, like 4 belts of plastic, 4 red belts of plastic, something like that. See how we go. Do the same as we did with wood. And we could start to build stuff like advanced circuits, all of that process, and it'll be beautiful. You know what? I'm just going to... Can I make this myself? I kind of want to make this myself. Of course, I'm missing steel. Of course, I am missing some steel. There we go. Let's just make it myself. It looks like I got some of my robots back. Every time they come back, they run off again. Alright, but I think we will call this for now. We've been going for 2.5 hours. We've kind of finished what we're doing, and I don't really want to jump on the new build just yet, so this power pole can go. This underground can go. Yes, I'm in that weird situation where I just want to keep playing, but I don't want to do the next big thing. Like, I don't want to do some big thing, because it's just going to be like, ugh, too much brain time. Like, I have a lot of brain capacity when I start a stream early in the morning, but when I finish a stream, I'm a bit, ugh, so need a little bit of time to recharge. But we're making progress. These ores that we're making right here are going to be the platform on which we build all of our blue science. And it is going to be fan-freaking-tastic. Once it's built, of course, which... How's our power doing? 504 megawatts. We turned on... Oh, this is the old steam engine build. I'm not sure if we even want the old steam engine build to still be running. Well, let's make that... So that'll only turn on if we really are really in trouble. So if we turn on the new build and everything still falls over, then we'll turn over the old build. But we don't want to turn that on until we absolutely need it. I do like this graph though. It's a very nice sort of graph. But you can see the power, it was stable and it started to get less and less and less stable. And then we started to jump this on a bit more. All right. I am going to stop talking, I think. Look at how much bigger this is. And this is only a second stage ore. We've got third stage ores as well that we're going to have to deal with eventually. And I really want to just build them all in one station. But yeah, we'll just have to see how we go with that stuff. We really will have to see. But I do like the fact that we're getting so much ores out here. And aluminium, love to see a little bit of that on the belt, but that's going to take a while. It's a lot of belts that need to be built. Yellow belts. They're just crazy. Please tell me we're still building yellow belts. I think we're still using this process to build them. Yeah, we got 1,000 in there waiting. So it's all good. Alright. Alright, that's it. I'm signing off now. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. I do hope you enjoyed this stream, and I'll catch you guys definitely next Sunday, but I may start doing some more streams in the middle, like I did last week. I think I did like 2 or 3 streams in the middle, in between my regular Sunday streams, so yeah, some more of that will definitely be good. And what are we working on next time? Plastic and other goods. Ingots. We don't need aluminium ingots for blue science, We will need silver ingots because we need the silver wire. We'll need to do some stuff with silicon. We'll probably have yeah, we'll have a silicon ingot build as well. And I haven't actually checked for a while. How is our circuit builds doing? This one's fully backed up, looks very solid. Green circuits. These two both backed up, look very solid. And then solder backed up, looks very solid. Yeah, we built those a while ago. I sort of finished them off at the end and I never really checked them. But anyway, I'm going to finish the stream off now. Thank you very much for watching for the millionth time, and I'll see you guys later.